Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Vidhya, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, PG, Kristu Jayanti College. So today my topic is about the individual behavior and personality from the executive development subject. So, an organization is basically the association of human beings, and a major problem of today's organizations to how to get a maximum possible efforts and contributions of the human being, determining these efforts and contributions. Those responsible for managing the organization must understand the way human being behaves. So, generally, we are going to talk about the individual behavior and what are the factors influencing the individual behavior. So, it is to be noted that the human the works consist of the individual performing jobs in some setting, usually some organization. So the fact that are tremendous difference among the individuals and the jobs is basically frequently expressed as matching people, and the job of the expression round pegs is square holes. When the match is not good one, the mismatch can occur in any setting. So how these people are there in the organization, how individual character, individual behavior, or the personality of an individual when they are coming to an organization, how they are there. If they are not placed in a right proper place, that is for the right job, then definitely there will be a mismatch. So to avoid that, and what are the factors that are influencing for this mismatch, we are going to see in the further slides. So individual behavior can be defined as a mix of response of external and internal stimuli. It is the way a person reacts in different situations and ways some express different emotions like anger, happiness, love, etc. So generally, an individual's behavior is a mix of the response of external and internal stimuli. So sometimes when, as soon as we see, for example, if you see an accident, so what will happen? A stimuli that will, it is a kind of a reaction or a shock that we give. So otherwise, okay, some reaction will be like, oh, it's okay. So these kind of reactions are the stimuli that internally or externally that will make based on the different situation. Some people will get anger, some people will be happy, and some people will show the love the based on the situations. So, what are the variables that are influencing an individual behavior? Is the first one is regarding the person. So, person, if you see, you'll see the skills and ability, personality, perception, attitude, values, and ethics. So, if you see skills and ability, every person will be with a different skill sets, so and their ability to do the work. So based on that they will be placed and the behavior will be different. Personality and perception, so each person will have their own kind of a perception towards the work that they do, or towards a situation that they react. And attitudes, the person's individual person's attitude towards certain responses, or even on certain organization when they are there, how to behave themselves shows. And values and ethics is nothing but how moral you are and how ethical you are when you are there in an organization. So this is one of the persons. The first one is the person, where these kind of variables that are there within oneself. Coming to the environment, that is about the organization. So individual behavior can change based upon the organization. So first one is organization, second one is a work group. So in a work group, how do you feel? Some will be an introvert, some will be an extrovert. So based upon the individual's character, how others also are. So every individual in a group, how they behave themselves is one more thing. And the job, whether, see, for some people study a certain courses to get into a right job. Some persons study one course and get into the other job. So actually the individual behavior also plays an effective role here. If the person is educated and he's doing another job, whether he's satisfied or not satisfied. So again, that kind of an environment can also change an individual behavior. And personal life, an individual should know how to take care about the personal life as well as the professional life. So, individual behavior means some concrete action by a person. The behavior of an individual influenced by various factors. Some factors lie within himself, like intrinsic personality trait, internal feelings, while some lie outside him, compromising the external environment which he is a part. So, definitely, when you're working in an organization, what happens is now some person have certain kind of a feeling. So, some will be even for a small mistake, the person will be like really a kind where he cannot take that. Okay, a kind of an internal feelings that he have. Some will be very emotional, and that kind of a situation will be, some person will be like compromising those situations, and based on that is where these people will be there, which means they are trying to match to the environment. So personality, if you tell, as we all know, the ability of a person, the perception of a person, motivation, social culture, and organizational factor. So coming to the ability, so personality is the first one, the factor that is influencing, that will be lying within ourselves with the situation. So ability, whether you can do. Perception, the way you see things, whether if you're in a group, maybe there are 10 persons in a group, and on one topic, individual will have their own perception, which means they have their own way of thinking. Next, coming to the motivation. So motivation is something which some people feel that they have to be self motivated, and other people thinks that they have to be motivated by others. So the individual behavior can change in these ways as well. Then social culture factor, and that is how you are adapting the social and within the society, that culture, whether you're ready to adapt, and based on that how you are, and based on these factors how your behavior also is there. Then organizational factor, once you are there in an organization, what happens is you'll tend to be changed. So because of certain situations, or because of certain, some person who are very traditional, because of some meeting, they are forced to be to come in an attire of very formals. So some things that they have to adapt. So based on that adaptation, what happens is this also can change the behavior or the personality of an individual. So, foundation for individual behavior is personal, psychological, organizational, and environmental. These are the four main things that we have to take into consideration. So, personal factor, if you take, that is based on your age, education, abilities, and creativity. So, age in the sense of what is your present age, based on that age, what is the thing that you're going to think, and how do you behave. Some education, based on the knowledge that you have acquired through education, how do you go, how you are taking in abilities, whether you can do certain things in an organization. Creativity, how do you solve the problem creatively. These are your four personal factor that will affect an individual. Okay. Second comes psychological. Psychological is something based on your attitudes, based on your personality, based on the values and learnings. So some will be really very ethical, that they wanted to follow certain things which are which have certain kinds of values, so that they will follow. And second one is learning. Learning through others. How do you learn? And based on that learning, how do you behave yourself in an situation or in an organization? That all these factors, what happens is that will lead to a next level of the behavior of an individual. Okay. And then coming to the organization systems and resources, that is the physical facility, organizational structures and design, leadership, reward system, and work. So what happens is, physical facilities is the basic facilities that you are having within the organization. Based on these external factors, what happens is whether you are satisfied. So if you're satisfied with that kind of an environment, what happens is you are like your behavior towards that organization or your individual personality will have some kind of changes. Then coming to organization structure and design. Structure and design doesn't mean that organization's blueprint or something like that. That is how do they follow, whether it is a vertical or horizontal kind of a leadership that they're following, or the kind of a theory that, for example, upward theory or downward theory, how they are following. So for example, if you just tell the telling from the board of directors to the to the managers, from the managers to the assistant managers, from assistant managers to the other different levels of organize. So if this kind of a tree that is if they are following, what happens is, if you're ready to adapt that system, so then you are really changing it. So that will also be there. Some people will like to change, some people will not change, so there will be a mismatch again. Then coming to the leadership, so if you are having a capability of adapting all these kind of factors, and based on that, how do you proceed yourself, whether with these kind of factors you really feel that there can be a changes. So when you're adapting these kind of changes, what happened, really you will have a good leadership quality. Then reward system, that is kind of an appreciation that you're getting, and the work, whether you really like the work that you're doing, you're really liking it, and based on that, how much do you enjoy yourself. That means, which means the individual characters. For example, if a person is done in engineering and he's coming and doing an accounts, definitely he will not like it. So based on that, kind of a work system also should be very good. Then environmental factor is something that is all everybody know: economic, political, and social norms, cultures, and values. So you have to follow these are another factor which is affecting the individual's behavior. That is economic factor, political factor, that is where you are staying. So when you're staying, that economic factor, whether you're adapting to their rules and regulations, whether to their whether to their that environment, or that, for example, if you're working in another country, so that the economic of that country, economic policies of that country, whether you are able to adapt it. Then political is also certain things where you have to take into consideration social norms and cultures, that every country will have their own norms and cultures, and based on that, the individual can also individual's behavior is also a factor that is affecting. Okay. So I think these are the factors that take into that we have to see is: one is a personal factor, second is a psychological factor, third is organization, system, and resources, and fourth one is your environmental factor. Thank you.